Hey, I'm Haley.
And I'm Jesse.
And you're listening to
Personality Hire, the podcast where I'm going to let you know off the top here. After we record this, Haley and I are going out. I don't know what we're doing. There will be a crumpet involved. There will be a dirty martini involved for me. But we're going, again, I don't know what we're doing. We could be in bed by 10 p.m. I don't know.
No, we're not.
But we are going to go do something. It's been a minute since Haley and I have had sister time.
Yes.
And frolicked.
Yeah.
And been silly. What I think people don't know a lot about us that I get questions about sometimes, or people slide into my DMs and like have a different preconceived notion of our relationship, is Haley and I are best friends. But because of that, the time that we spend weekly recording the podcast is truly some of the only time we get that's F to F, face to face.
Yeah.
In the majority of our friendship right now, because we're both so busy. So we have to make time. You got to make time for the people that you love.
Yeah. Also, it's like we don't get to catch up. I will say things on the podcast and she'll be like, you didn't tell me that. I'm like,
it's true. But that's normal. It's just normal. It is normal right now.
It's just, I don't like it.
Well, we're working on it.
We are.
And I wanted to tell you something. Speaking of like making time for your friends, I had a staycation with my friend Morgan, who I talk about on the pod all the time, but she's, friend of the pod. We went out to a real live club, when we were having. I'm so hesitant to say
Is it the one that starts with a P?
Yes. Mm-hmm. How did you know? Did I tell you about it?
I know that's where Morgan would take you.
Okay. Well, I've
been there once before.
Okay. If you're familiar with Atlanta, I'm not going to say the name of it just because it makes me.
It's probably the only club I would go to. Well, besides that one other club that we went to that one time. Actually, we've gone there twice. The one time that we had our last sister outing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I don't prefer that club.
Same.
Ever.
But this one starts with a P and it's off Edgewood. And I'm not going to say the name of it.
They're going to be able to
exactly because I don't want my paper trail. I don't want my digital footprint to have me saying the name of this place because because of this story. Morgan and I waited in line because we didn't
in line?
Listen, we had to wait in line. And I thought we were just going to walk up and they were going to be like, ladies, right this way. Because again, we put effort into our appearance. We were trying to have a good night.
2 certified hotties.
Trying to be a little baddies that night. Yeah. But we walk up. First of all, we don't have a ticket. It's a ticketed event because there was a guest DJ. I had no idea.
Yeah, they do have DJs. That's the time I've gone there is to go see a DJ.
I didn't know
that I knew.
And then we waited in line like good law-abiding citizens because I was like, I'm too old to walk up to the bouncer and be like, so, hey, what's the wait? What do I got to do to get in here? I'm not doing that. We have to wait in line.
How long is the wait?
It wasn't long at all.
Okay.
It was not long at all. But every person in front of us in line was getting carted. We had to wait. They were taking like 2 in at a time because it was bumping up in there.
It's small.
They were carting everyone. And then we get to the front of the line and we have our IDs in our hand and the security man goes, put that away. You don't need that. And we were like, excuse me. And he was like looking at us like, we both know what's going on here. These very, very elderly ladies are about to go into the club and he didn't card us and he made a big to-do about it. Like we were silly gooses for having our IDs
this is where men, like, they just don't know. Like, I think he thought he was like, you don't need that. You don't look like a baby.
No. He said it straight. No. They were all in on it. It was several security people. They had basically been plotting this for when we got to the front of the line, and they said it stone-faced. All that to say, I went out to a real club. I didn't get carded, but once I got in, it was like I've never been to a club before. I forgot what it's like.
Yeah,
to be at a club.
I don't think I ever spring break senior year, my girl Kelly, who's from Miami, not really Miami, but areas abound near, she took us to Live Miami, which I'm so thankful that I had that experience. I had a blast, but that was my first and only time at a real one time in Chicago. I don't remember what it was called.
You went to the Clink. Don't forget the Clink.
Oh my gosh.
In Boston.
Would that be a club or a bar?
Certainly not. Not a club. No.
There was dancing. I will never forget the Clink.
There was dancing. There was.
But there can be dancing at a bar.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, but this is like, there's a DJ, drop.
Maybe there's going to be a laser.
Yeah, there's lasers. There's girl in scantily clad.
There's a bottle service happening.
Yes, there's, sparklers with signs. So I haven't had a lot of club experience in my day. I've never been to Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so going to this club specifically,
Yeah.
I've been once, and it is one of those places where you walk in and you're like, this is a club. It feels, mind you, I just told you I've been to 2 clubs my whole life, 3. It feels like a small little club that you'd go into in New York.
Yeah, it's very small, and it's kind of like shotgunny in the sense of where
Yes,
it's like
it's long
you
and
can
little.
see the front, you can see the back, and it's like a hallway. Like we're in a hallway, and the bar's going to be wet because we're spilling our drinks, and your feet are going to be wet, and that's okay.
That's part of the club experience.
And it was truly, pardon my French, nuts to butts, if you will. That's how packed it was. But I went, and it did remind me of my youth when I used to go to MJQ. And if you are...
I've been to MJQ
MJQ,
too.
when I would go, when it's off Ponce de Leon. Now I believe it's in an underground. Haven't been to that one. But, anyway, it just took me back to a time and a place where I was thriving. I was thriving in my Deep V, my American Apparel Deep V.
American Apparel.
And I was chugging well vodka and soda water and lime.
Okay.
And then I would get up from my mall job the next day, having not hydrated, not even a little bit, and then I would go off my merry way, and I felt great.
You'd be fine.
I was totally fine, because what saved me was I used to eat when I would get home from the bar or these clubs, I would eat sugar wafers. Do you know what those are?
I have no idea.
They're like old timey cookies that are thin vanilla wafers with a layer of cream and then another thin vanilla wafer. The wafer tastes like styrofoam.
Ugh.
But they're called sugar wafers.
I don't like it.
And your Nana definitely knows what it is. Like, I don't know. Like, ask
your
Grandpa
Nana.
Grandpa
Ask
Joe
Granny.
if he remembers a sugar wafer. Keebler elves make them. Anyway, I would house a pack of sugar wafers, go night and wake up refreshed the next day.
No, I will say, if you eat before you go to bed, it's not the best like dietary choice, but for your head in the morning, it is the best choice.
Yeah. But that was what I did this weekend. It was very fun. Sometimes you just got to get out and live a little. Sometimes you just have to really,
all the time.
You just got to leave your worries at the door. You do,
yeah,
and you have to release
your
them.
inhibitions. Feel the club on your brain.
Feel the club, the moistness on your bare skin, because a very sweaty person just bruised up against you. Feel that, why don't you?
Woof.
So anyway, how was your weekend?
It was good. I went to a birthday dinner. Was pretty much, I'm trying to think.
Where'd you go?
We went to Iberian Pig. Love. Great experience. Some people were in from out of town. It was J-Dog's friends' 30th birthday.
Okay.
And all the wives and girlfriends came.
I saw a cute picture of you and J-Dog, but I didn't know the location. Now it makes sense.
Iberian
now I got
Pig.
it.
And then we went to
in Decatur and Buckhead.
The Buckhead location. And then we walked on over to what's the hotel called? You know what I'm talking about.
The Rege?
The Rege, the St. Rege.
St. Rege.
And we had a cocktail, and then we went back to one of the guys' house who is a phenomenal chef, and he made, and we ate cheesecake.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult thing to make at your own house.
He's made several cheesecakes.
Cheesecakes.
He's like famous for them.
Souffles. That
J.O.
really is.
Shout out J.O. and your cheesecakes.
J.O.
So good.
Rocking it. I feel like that is a big flex if you can make a cheesecake.
He is a low key chef. Like I don't even know why he's so good, but he makes
everybody needs a hobby.
Really, really great food.
Next time, ask him if he can make you a chocolate souffle. I feel like that could be. I knew he could.
He can do anything.
He said if it requires a water bath dessert.
I'm pretty sure he has a torch for creme brulee. Like, you know what I mean? Like he has it all.
Well, like
He's
I said,
good.
I need to meet more of J-Dog's friends, just because that
awesome.
sounds like something I need to partake in.
Yeah, and it was a blast. We had a good old time, and I'm trying to think if I did anything else. I think that was the gist of my weekend. Everything kind of revolved around those events. Friday night, I don't even know. I get worried sometimes about my brain because I do forget what has happened. Like, what did I do Friday night? I don't recall.
I do. You went to a movie.
Nope. That was on Wednesday or Thursday
of
last week.
I don't know either.
I went to dinner with friend of the pod, Kat Kelly, and J-Dog. That was it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay,
he golfed
great.
that day. So I said, oh, cool. So you're taking me to El Azteca, my favorite Mexican restaurant in Atlanta. There's 3 locations. Luckily, 2 of them being one spit shot distance from my house and 1 spit shot distance from his. And I am overestimating the spit shot because you don't need to know where either of us live.
No.
But there are 3 locations and 1 is close to him and 1 is close to me.
And you know precisely where all 3 of them are.
Oh, for sure. I know the address.
She could draw it.
Mm-hmm. They giggle when I walk in. They're like, hey. And when I give them my order, they they giggle every time. And it's like, because they talk about me behind my back. Maybe in a nice way.
Yeah, I think it's more of they're going to be like, here comes our regular.
Here comes
our regular schmegular.
The Azteca bowl with the extra side of pico de gallo and a skinny spicy margarita.
I think it's cute to have
with tahini on the rim.
I think it's cute to have a regular order at a place like that because I just think that it means that it's your comfort food.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I really love it. And it's mostly healthy. Like the order that I have for dinner is healthy. The margarita is not so healthy, and neither is the chips and queso, but I'm going to have them.
And also,
so good.
don't deny yourself that.
No.
Don't deny yourself that.
Life is too short. And those are what I love.
Yeah.
Love.
Certainly don't deny yourself that.
Did you guys hear that?
No, they didn't hear anything, but Aunt Haley's phone just went off. Hold on one second.
Yep.
I was going to tell you that I did something we've been discussing about, just putting yourself out there, doing fun new things, being bold and youthful. And I said I might pick up tennis.
Did you do it?
Wait, did you get something important on your phone?
Kind of.
Oh, yeah, it is important.
Wait.
This is important. Ladies and gentlemen, Aunt Haley just got a very important text message.
I'm going to mark that as a
yeah.
It's not important enough to answer right
this
second.
Okay. All right. But I, we're talking about doing different things, new things, exciting things, picking up new hobbies. I officially started my new hobby of being a tennis baddie. Nice. I went and had my first lesson yesterday. I went with my special homegirls, Fudunk and Mushroom Stamp. And they are, I know I've said this before, I just love them so much. And every time I spend time with them, I just feel they're just cup filler uppers, you know what I mean? And I really hope that they feel the same way about me. But
they do.
This man was, I think he was surprised by my lack of experience in tennis. My friends were great. They did really well. They just were kind of like one of those things where you watch before your eyes. They had said that they hadn't done it in a long time.
But they have played.
Oh.
And have you?
Never.
Okay, well then.
But then you watch them throughout the lesson. It just kind of muscle memory came back to them. For me, I got worse before I got better, and then I got worse again. I guess, your arm just gets tired. But
it's new.
Did this lesson. This man at the place where I was at, he was like, so if you bring your racket this way, how are you going to make sure that it goes across the court? Quizzing me on something he told me. And I looked at him and I said, you're going to pray to the Lord. Because let me tell you, tennis is so difficult.
It is hard.
It is so difficult. But I looked cute. Of course I looked cute. I had on a really great outfit. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why I'm getting into the sport. I need a hobby. I want to spend time with my baddie friends. And I want to get some cardio in. But I just want to say that it's going to be a journny. And I'm here to say that I'm strapped in. I'm going to continue to go and do and see what I can make of myself. But I didn't know what I didn't know,
tennis is low-key hard. I played and I was very good. I took lessons growing up. Freshman year of high school, I was getting close to making it to varsity. But I dropped out for dance team and I tried to pick it back up during COVID. And guess what? I suck. I certified suck. I'm not good at it.
That's okay. Hard. He was teaching me the difference between rallying and volleying and, forehand, backhand, all that good stuff. And then he wanted me to serve it. And I said, you want me to yeet this ball up into the air and then take it and just whack the shit out of it to get it across this.
That's my favorite thing is serving.
It was the hardest thing. It was so hard. First of all, maybe my hand-eye coordination ain't that great. I don't know. But it was so hard.
It is hard, but once you get the hang of it, that's the most fun part.
And my balls kept going to the Lord. Like, I know I was joking about like, this ball's going to go where the Lord wants it. No, my balls kept going to the stratosphere, to heaven, because I didn't know how to hold my racket.
Yeah.
So they kept going up.
It was like hitting the aluminum part
to see Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was doing.
Jesus.
And poor people beside me, there was a young girl who was also having a lesson. 2 young girls, actually. One was my daughter's age, who was absolutely ripping it. And then her mom came to pick her up at the end of the lesson. And her mom was dead serious too. She looked at the instructor and she goes, we're going to ramp this up for maybe 2 or 3 times a week coming into the fall and into school starts, because I want her to be really good at tennis. And she was not kidding. This lady wanted she wants a Serena on her hands, Serena Williams. And then the other young lady on the other side was in her maybe 14 or 15. And my balls kept going into both of their courts, and bless them, they were trying to give it a chuckle, but that's all I got. There's nothing else to report other than I gave it a whirl.
That's amazing. And you're going to continue to learn and grow and get better and get closer to Jesus throughout the process.
You're exactly right. He's going to catch one of my balls.
And he's going to throw him back
and
down
he's
and say,
throw it
try
back
again,
down.
sister.
And he's going to say,
and that's a lesson in life.
4. I did make that joke. I thought it was hilarious because mine kept going and I yelled 4 at the girly pop that was in the next court. She did not laugh. I thought it was hysterical.
I think it's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's good.
But yeah.
I love that.
There you go.
I love that.
That's that.
I think that's really fun.
It was great. I loved it. Gonna do it again. I'll keep you posted on how I come along.
Yeah, keep us updated on the tennis lessons, because I feel like you're gonna get really good. You're gonna get good.
I feel like there's always something inside of me where I don't know if I'm competitive.
You are.
Okay.
Jesse's competitive. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think you are.
I'm a competitive person.
You are.
For sure.
You are. But I want to know why, like how, what, how, why. I'm not denying you
that you're
competitive. That I'm competitive.
I'm not going to use like an exact example.
No, you don't have to.
But I would say that you do take note of what competitors are doing, and you want to do it better, and you aim and you focus on that very hard. And I would say that the reason I notice it is because I am this way, and I am like always shown this part of myself through acting, because you can't really be competitive with acting. Like, it's kind of toxic, because the only person in acting, and this is very specific, I'm not saying it about all things. I think being competitive is a great thing. But you need to be competitive with yourself, because you really can't, there's no rhyme or reason to anything. But there is a side of you that naturally wants to get competitive. So I'm always like shown it, like I'm always looking at myself starting to be competitive when I'm like, that's not helpful right now, because you can't do this. Like, it's not a thing you can be competitive in. However, most things in life, you can be a little competitive. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hyper aware of it, because I'm like, is this a good hyperfixation, like competitiveness that I'm having right now or whatever? So I'm always like looking at competitiveness.
Okay.
I feel like.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And I think it's actually very healthy. I think being competitive is good.
I was going to say to that point that the what you just cited about me is 100% true. And I have always evaluated other people in similar spaces to me or with similar desires as me. And I evaluate what they're doing as a tool.
I think it's smart.
And
that's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm just agreeing with you. Like the way that you just broke that down for me, I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. I absolutely do that. And I use that competitiveness as like a tool to say, what are they doing better than me or smarter? Exactly. Or what's not working.
It's like learning.
But that is competitive.
Yeah, that's competitive.
Yeah. But I guess I hadn't really thought about it in that way.
Yeah.
But that is definitely competitive.
Which I think being competitive is great.
I honestly think like if someone was like, I'm not competitive, like I don't care, I'd be like, I think that you can be competitive as long as you're not a sore loser or as long as you're not a boastful person. But to your
also,
to your
it has
point,
to drive you in a healthy way.
That's right. So what you're saying is competitive nature isn't negative if it's a healthy driver.
Yeah. If you're saying like, I want to do that. I love that. Like I can do it.
Yeah.
And then you doing it, that's a great time to be competitive. But like with acting, if you're like, why did she get that? You know, that's why I'm always like paying very close attention to what kind of competitive am I feeling, competitiveness that I'm feeling, and how it is driving me. Because is it driving me to be super negative about where I'm at or what I'm doing? Or is it driving me in a sense that like, good for her. I want to do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I think that also what you're describing is that sometimes there's a fine line between competitiveness and jealousy when those emotions, they tend to, I think, can come up together. When you feel extra competitive, I think sometimes you can also tend to feel a little bit of jealousy coming in. And as long as those don't become overwhelming, that I think that individually they can be useful, but as long if you are competitive alongside being jealous of someone, that is not a good combination.
Yeah.
But I think that can come up, and I think that it's normal for it to come up for people. But the healthy thing to do, if you can, is to quelch the jealousy so that the competitiveness can be a tool, right? Like we're saying.
Yeah.
But I think too, I've been trying I haven't felt jealousy of a person specifically in a long time. I do think that sometimes I can feel myself being jealous of a situation or not a person specifically, but something that maybe I want for myself or that I see that is happening in some other realm that I'm not a part of. And that makes me feel like, oh, I want that. I want that. But again, I don't think that jealousy always has to be this kind of like little green monster.
It's not. No, I was just about to agree with you and say, again, especially, I just take it back to the acting example because it's shown to me nonstop. But I don't know. I feel jealous, and I'm scared to say this, but I'm going to say it because it's true. I feel jealousy like every day. Not in a bad way, not in a way that I'm like, I don't want them to have it. It's for me. No, I think of it in a way of like, man, I wish, like, I look at some of my friends who chose a more traditional lifestyle, and I'm like, oh, I would be nuts not to be a little bit jelly belly. The fact that they can easily, and not easily because no one has it easy, but like have health insurance, and if their car breaks down, they can fix it. Like I'm freaking out all the time. I'm like, how do I make more money? How do I do this? And I know everybody thinks that way. I'm just saying, like, it's easy to get jealous of those things, but also it's not like I'm like, they don't deserve that. It's like, how do I aim? How do I work harder? And again, with acting, like, you can be the best actor ever and not,
But jealousy in the way that you're talking about it, again, is a motivator, and which is not bad.
It's like,
and then I think with motivation, maybe that becomes competitiveness. I think we just built a Venn diagram of competitive. The center is hopes, dreams, desires. The right side is competitiveness, and the left side is jealousy. Where competitiveness and jealousy come to the center, that's really how you identify your hopes, dreams, and desires. And then an offshoot of that is motivation. At the top, when they all come together, that's when you become motivated. Put it on a poster. Call Tony Robbins. Tell him I sent you. Because I just put together the Venn diagram for our way forward. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow,
that was it.
Thank you.
That was it.
Thank you so much.
But you're right. Yeah. There is a Venn diagram.
Venn diagram.
There's a Venn diagram. And also, I think that we do, especially now when people, and I think of this example right now, and I think some of our listeners will be able to relate and get this, but Love Island, the girls are playing it too nice, and we've let Huda, I think it's Huda, and I literally can't get it straight because I'm just so blinded. I can't even hear what's happening or how her name is actually pronounced. Beautiful young woman, respect her, but the actions that she has taken, and I'm like, why is she still here? And I think this is where I'm showing my age, where I'm like, it's not entertaining at this point. It's destructive, and I'm worried about her. Go home.
I don't know anything about her. What happened? Is she okay?
She's fine. She's just crashing out on national television like
About
5 nights a
men
week.
already?
About men already. It was a weekend, and she was in love.
Maybe she's
That's
just
my
playing
dream
the
date.
game.
Cute. And he knows that too. Like, I'm a mommy.
Is that her?
Mamacita.
Is that her?
Yes, that's her.
Oh,
No, I'm a
obviously. I've heard that on the
That's her.
internet. Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah. But she, I think the girls, because they know they're on, and I think a lot of these women are very intelligent. Shout out Shelly, Alondria.
Is a girl
Sierra.
named Vanna on it?
She just came on. Yes, Vanna.
Got it.
I have not met her yet because I'm 2 episodes behind, because it's really easy to get behind because they're
Well,
an hour long and it's 5 nights a week. Okay?
I feel bad for her, not because I haven't seen this show, but I know the concept. And I feel bad for her because people are being so mean to her. And I know that they said that they're surprised by her age. She's very young. She's only 21 years old. And people are being so mean to her. And it just... Again, we've talked about reality TV before, about how I was like, I would go on a show. It'd be really fun and I could do it. And I know I could do it now at this big age. Yeah. But I feel so bad. She's taking a risk. She's putting herself out there. She's trying something new. She's only 21 years old and people are ripping her apart for the way that she looks. And I just, it makes me...
It's very sad, just a bummer. But it's also like...
Her frontal lobe is not developed yet. It's not. Just like let her...
By the way, like, we shouldn't go so hard on the way people look, because it's the way they look, okay? And she's going to look the way she looks. And that's
I just hate that people forgot.
And also, she's beautiful.
I hate that people forgot that old adage where if the person cannot fix the way that their appearance is in 30 seconds, don't bring it up to them.
Yeah.
If it's not something that they can literally wipe away or blow away or
it's not their hair or their makeup, get a grip. Like, don't.
I don't like that.
But yeah, by the way, they've done this on previous seasons. Like, Vanna's not the first victim to that, especially Love Island, because Love Island attracts a lot of people, like in general, who just look a certain way.
Are they on a real island?
They're in Fiji.
Oh my God.
It's stunning.
What if they rolled this into a Survivor series? I'd watch the shit out of that.
Well, they have a Love Island games. So, and they do games every like 2 episodes. They have a challenge, which the games are like, it's honestly too raunchy. Like, sometimes I'm like, I'm doing the dishes while I watch this, because it is a bit much. It's a bit too sexy for me.
It's too sexy?
Girl, yes.
Like they're like doing it for real?
I know one...
Oh my God!
One couple has done it, and then they broke up. It's
they're
fine.
doing it
I can't
already?
talk about it. I can't talk about it on this podcast. You guys know. But I want to circle back to girls on this show. The reason why we all loved Love Island UK, which I've been watching for years thanks to friends of the pod, Kelm and Karina. But what we like about them is the girls are always so nice to each other. It's not like The Bachelor, where the girls go on and they all like are pitted against one another.
Competitive.
Yes. Or like, Housewives, where they attack each other and like learn dirt on one another and leak stories. It's not like that. So I think Love Island USA, when it started to do better, that's what they started to do. The women were nice to each other, which is great. But they're nice to a fault at this point, where they let people act a fool, and they try to calm people down and like, tell them to like tighten the screws. But this one girl, it's really one girl this season who has done it, Huda. And she should, in my opinion, I wish she was home and not here on the
So do they get voted off?
So they can be voted off many different ways. You can be voted off by being vulnerable, by being single and not in a couple. You can be voted off by your peers on the island, and you can be voted off by America.
This is a complicated program.
It's crazy. There was a guy on for 2 days. He's from Georgia, Jalen. He was a truck driver from Georgia. Very handsome man.
Do they make him skedaddle?
Well, he got voted off. We were all mad because he's a sweet, handsome young lad. And they voted him off to keep someone. It was ridiculous. Basically, Huda should have gone.
Okay.
He stayed. Huda should have gone. Or he left. Huda should have gone. But the good news is Jalen is now back home in Georgia, flying to LA. He'd never been anywhere. He had never, I don't think he'd seen the ocean, and he's from Georgia or something.
See, that's why I
could be
think that
making that
these
up.
shows are cute for these, like, for young kids who are, they're
But this really doesn't
experiencing
happen
new
a lot.
things.
I mean, this is the first time that I've heard of this happening. But Jalen, love you.
Jalen, do you want to come on the pod? Let's talk.
Yes, let's talk. He's going to have many great opportunities. He already does. Has like 14 million followers already on TikTok.
Go, Jalen.
He didn't even have a TikTok before leaving the island, sort of thing.
Throw it in a circle.
Yeah, throw it in a circle. But I will say, like, I think the women are trying to feel like they're not being mean girls by voting her off, but they should vote her off. She's toxic as,
And that's that.
And I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, so if something has changed, now she's, you know, a saint. Girl, don't come for me.
Also,
But we do have a hard time. Like, we just do that thing where we're like, jealousy's bad. All these things are bad, but they're not. They can,
okay, great.
Yes.
Great way to round that out.
Yeah.
Because I agree with what you just said about how every day you feel a twinge of jealousy. But I think that being jealous is such a natural human emotion, and that maybe we shouldn't, again,
you just need
demonize it so much, because it helps you understand things that are important to you. And again, that motivating factor, and that factor of, I have more to achieve. There's more of me that I want to explore. There's more that I want to do. And maybe, again, as long as we don't put jealousy in with being mean.
No, you also just need to clock it. Like, as soon as you clock a feeling, like, okay, cool, I'm a human. I'm going to feel these feelings. So now I need to act accordingly.
Yeah.
Now that I know that I'm feeling jealousy towards my friend Jacob, I don't have a friend named Jacob, but a friend named Jacob, because they have this, that, or the other, then I need to make sure I remember that when they tell me about their day, so I don't act differently towards them because of how I'm feeling.
And in the words of the poet and Nobel Peace Prize winner Nick Jonas, I turn my cheek, I puff my chest, and I'm ready to step.
I don't know. He says something weird, like, look it up.
I
have to look it up.
I still get jealous.
I still get jealous.
So if he gets jealous, imagine my surprise when I also get jealous occasionally. I turn my cheek, puff my chest. Isn't that what it is? I turn my cheek, puff my chest.
Turn my something music up.
Turn my
oh, wait.
I turn my chin. Okay, I turn my chin music up, and I'm puffing my chest. I'm getting red in the face because you're too sexy, beautiful, and I
don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Okay, Nick.
That didn't feel natural.
Revamp those lyrics.
He said you're too sexy, beautiful. You don't have to use 2 adjectives back to back that mean the same damn thing.
Sexy, beautiful.
You're too sexy, beautiful.
Okay, Nick.
I still get jealous. Yeah. Okay. Well,
He does.
perfect.
And if Nick Jonas can get jealous, so can you. And that's okay.
That's the damn
Just
truth.
clock it. Clock it.
Clock it in.
Okay.
I wanted to tell you that on Friday, this is our ongoing discussion /bit /truth of golf. That Friday, my husband comes home and he gets home around like 6:00, and the child has been bathed. I've been bathed. We've been spending the day together. She's been fed. The dog's been walked. The dog's been fed. All the things, whatever. He comes home and he says, "Hey, I was wondering, I just saw there's a 7 p.m. tee time at this golf course. Do you mind if I go hit a few balls?" And I puff my cheek. I turn my cheek, puff my chest
up, and I'm puffing my chest.
And I
I'm
told him,
getting red in the face. I told him you can kick rocks.
I told him to go. I just looked at him and I said, no, I just said go. I said, get lost. At this
You're
point,
better than me.
At this point, I'm like, what? I'm in my robe. I didn't know. We didn't have any plans. But, you know, it just made me think about you. Because he came home and he was home for approximately 5 seconds before he said, you're too sexy, beautiful. Can I go hit some golf balls? And I said, just get out of here. Just go.
Well, you're better than me because I would say
skedaddle. So
I'm going to take this club and shove it up your nostril, young lad. Just kidding. But still sick of golf. Still sick of it.
yeah.
It hasn't ruined my life the way it did that one time where I got passionate about it. But it is annoying every time.
There you go.
It just is.
It is. It is.
It's annoying.
Haley and I are also each having a small serving of Sauvignon Blanc right now.
We are.
Because, again, like we said at the top of the episode,
it's girls' night.
We're doing something. And I just remembered, it just takes me back to our first episode she and I ever recorded. We were so nervy because we didn't know what we were doing. And we had no video because, like, obviously we've come a long way, baby. Yeah. That's all I want to say. And we had no video recording. We had no producer Bryce. We had nothing. We were humble beginnings. And she and I were several glasses deep before we even picked up the microphones.
Yeah, we were at the cafe over this way. We had a glass there, maybe even 2, and then came back and had a third.
And we puffed our chest and we were ready to face
Music
it.
up.
Yeah. And so it just reminds me of how far we've come, you know?
We've come so far.
I also wanted to tell you that after I had a few pool cocktails at my staycation, I remembered this t-shirt my mom had that for some reason, sometimes I think about my mom. I think about my mom's wardrobe a lot.
Like, I think about great t-shirt look.
Well, I think that she lost her way in terms of her sense of style when the older she became, and she kind of she always had trouble with that because clothes meant so much to her whole life. But the older she got, she just kind of lost her way on that. And I understand, like, her body was different. Like, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But I remember certain t-shirts she had that were very meaningful to me. I don't know if they really meant anything to her. I think they probably did, but one specifically was she went to a trip to New York with her dad, and she had a David Letterman shirt, which is so badass. And I found that on eBay. My dad can't find any of her shit. So, I mean, or he got rid of it, he chucked it. I don't know. My mom has passed away, and sometimes when people pass away, you go through psychosis and you do crazy stuff and you chuck stuff. But so that shirt I bought off eBay because I needed to have it. It's so good, David Letterman. But I've had that for a few years.
Yeah.
But then I had one come back into my mind like a lightning bolt. And it's funny. You have to walk with me. You have to talk with me because this one's funny. But my mom loved cigarettes. She's probably going to strike me down with a lightning bolt later tonight because I'm saying this. My mom loved Virginia Slim menthol lights. Okay. I'm sorry. But
don't like
she quit on and off throughout my life. But my mom was of an era where they were smoking ciggies. Okay. She smoked ciggies. And because she smoked so many ciggies, she got a t-shirt one time from the gas station man because she would buy them in bulk, as you do when you're a smoker.
Yeah, I remember my mom used to get my mom smoked at one point, and it was like a carton.
Yes, exactly.
I think they called it a carton.
It is a
right?
carton.
Like a big thing.
It's a big box with maybe, I don't know, a dozen packs of cigs in there.
Yeah.
But she also smoked the kind that were like Cruella de Vil style. These things were skinny and long.
Oh, good for her.
Skinny and long.
She was chic as hell.
But it was a red t-shirt, and it said, "If you give a man an inch, he thinks he's a ruler." And then the back said Virginia Slim menthol lights. And it was a red big t-shirt, and I would wear it to bed. And that was my bedtime t-shirt. My Virginia Slim bedtime t-shirt.
Yeah.
And it hit me like a lightning bolt. And I remembered this t-shirt, and I found it on eBay, and I also bought it, and they shipped it today.
Heck yes. That makes me so happy.
If you give a man an inch, he thinks he's a ruler.
I love that.
I mean, just such a good saying. The color is iconic.
It's hilarious.
And while I don't smoke, I'm going to
still wear it.
Still wear it.
It's an art. It's special.
It's poetry.
Yeah.
So I just felt like you needed to know that.
I'm so glad you told me that.
Because I know you love eBay. You be buying stuff off eBay too.
Everything's off eBay. I love eBay. I also I do Poshmark, all these things. I like nice things and I can't afford them. So I will find a way. And I find a way.
You're going to find them pre-loved.
I find them pre-loved and honestly kind of like it. They're a little spicy. I did just order a hat that I already owned. You know the hat. It's with the German Shepherd on it. It's Gorgon Brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
Gorin Brothers.
Gorin Brothers.
Did you? And it says Bad Boy and it has a mama dog on it. They stopped making those. So I'm like, and I noticed the other day, mine is so worse for wear. Like it is not looking good. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to hurry up and try to find this hat. I find one on Poshmark. Maybe worn once. And I was like, whatever, I will figure out the sanitary items necessary. Usually I would never buy a hat unless it's brand new. Or with tags, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like someone hasn't worn it. This one might have been worn. I can't tell. It still has the sticker at the bottom, but weirdos like to keep the sticker. I don't know. So I ordered this hat. I'm so excited. I get it for a decent price because they're selling for $100 online. I paid $35 when I got my first one.
Yeah.
I'd be offended if I had to pay $35 now for one that's been worn. You know what I mean? I find one for $27, immediate purchase. I don't even try to bid. I usually try to offer
a little haggle.
Yeah. But I was like, I want it that bad. Yesterday it was delivered. She sent me a swimsuit. It's not even in my size. And it's not one that I like. So I immediately go to the conversation with her and I was like, you sent me the wrong thing, lady. And I showed her which one of her listings that she sent me. And she goes, oh my gosh. The other one got sent to Canada. And I'm like,
no.
So this hat. So I'm going to have to spend $100 if I ever want to have this hat because there's no way because she didn't even offer. She was like, can you please send that swimsuit back? And I was like, so I have to pay to send it back?
No. Did you tell her absolutely not?
I said, do you still have the hat? I said, I will not send this back unless you still have the hat. And also that you're going to refund me. Also, I can deal with Poshmark. Clearly this lady's new, but she's not. She's an experienced seller. She's been on there for 10 years. So I was like, how do you not know how?
Gosh.
Anyway, we'll figure this out. We'll figure it out. But so far, I'm not going to get this hat.
No, and we don't want to have to make $100 investment.
No, also, I don't know if I can get it now because all of the $100 ones are gone.
I'm going to puff my chest at this lady.
I'm so sad. If I can't have a mama hat again, that's nice. I can't believe I wore that hat all the time.
We're going to find it.
And I shouldn't have. I should have just put it in a glass case. But that's not what hats are for. No. They're for wearing.
You already know. You wear your things. You got to wear your things.
But I am bummed that happened.
Yeah, that is the worst.
Swimsuit that's from Target. It was a Target swimsuit. And it wasn't even my size. And I don't even like it. I was like, this was a bad surprise.
Yeah, also didn't order it.
It's going to be my bad boy hat with a mama dog.
Would rather die than wear it.
I can't. It's not my size.
And she don't send it back. You want me to come out of my packet to send this back to you?
I was like,
also, that's a freaky thing to ask you.
Yeah, she was like, just send it back.
And
I was like, well, where is the hat?
She said, Canada. Oh, Canada.
She sent the hat again.
What if she sent it to a hockey player?
But you know what? Canadians are really nice. So maybe they'll send it back too. So I'll eventually in 2 months get my hat.
To all of our Canadian listeners, if this is you, please send the hat back. Just send it back.
Just send it straight to me and I will Venmo you what I paid for that hat.
Send it to Zoom.
And I won't even I will.
Please be reasonable.
Please.
Who's from Canada that we know?
I know some people from college times.
Will Arnett. We'll call Will Arnett. He has a podcast.
Okay, people that we
Will Arnett.
We'll call Jay Beebs because he's standing on business. What do you not understand? What do you not understand? I'm standing on business.
Wait a second. That brings me to my next point.
Oh no.
No.
I have Hailey Bieber right over there on the cover.
This brings me to my next point. You sent me a picture of a man who is in a boy band that was disturbing to me. Nick Carter.
Oh my God. I was waiting for you to say something.
I was
shocked when I saw that photo. I just sent it to her, no context. And I was like,
do you think that Nick Carter is on a weight loss journey?
He
Is that what? But I don't understand. Is that like why he is looking that way? What's
I don't
happening?
know, but I keep on getting ads for the Millennium Tour, which was my first concert. Backstreet
Oh my
Boys.
God, I want to go so bad.
They're going on tour, and
they're going to the residency in Vegas
So we
at the
gotta
Sphere.
go.
I know.
Okay, this is okay. We have to go, and we have to check on Nick. Nick might be fine. It might have been the camera angle. I was like looking at it. I was like, okay, this is a weird camera angle. Your head has always been large, as men's heads are, but like
I
maybe
think
it
what
was
it
the
is.
angle, like, but he looked like a lizard.
Here's what I'm gonna. This is a hot take. It's actually not. It's the truth, and we all know it. But I understand if somebody gets mad at me for it. The older you get, when you rapidly lose weight or you lose a significant amount of weight in your advanced age, it tends to look more shocking because your face takes a hit and it ages you almost immediately because you lose volume out of your face.
Okay, that's it.
And so that's what I think is happening. I think
Yeah.
maybe he's getting in shape for the show.
For the show, yeah.
And then he's lost weight, and then he has again less volume in his face because he's aging, and he's on an advanced age. But you know what I'm saying? He's like in his whatever. We're all doing the best we can.
40s, I think. I don't know how old Nick Carter is actually.
So
I don't
that
really
is
care.
probably what we're witnessing.
Yeah.
And you know what? If that's the case, that's okay. I just want him to be healthy,
Yeah.
wealthy, and wise.
It was a weird angle too.
Okay.
So I will say
But Haley did send that to me via DM with no context.
Yeah, well, my phone doesn't work, so I
just
can't
a
send it
freaky
through
picture of Nick
text.
Carter.
And I feel like if I sent it through text, it'd be less freaky, but because my phone doesn't work.
Do
I just
you
had to
remember
send it.
what you wore to the Millennium Tour?
No.
Do you want me to tell
I'm
you what
sure
I wore?
it was something like, so like, Nick noticed me. But I was like 5. I
think
don't
they
know.
came to Phillips Arena. That feels right?
You wore a halter top.
No, I was in the very last row of Phillips Arena, like quite literally, but I still did my, middle school version of I shaved everything on my body, right? Like my legs were like little, shaved because I thought they were going to see me from the stage
And
all the way in
fall
the
off.
back row. Exactly. I had on pleather pants. I believe I had on probably a sneaker, like some sort of like, what was what was like everyone wearing the sneakers?
Skechers
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
with platforms.
And I had on an American Eagle one shoulder white
that's
top.
what it was.
And that's what I wore. And I'd wear it again.
Hell yeah.
I would love to recreate that in Las Vegas.
I think we could do that.
But thanks for that picture. It really fucked me up for a while.
I was like waiting for your response, but I forgot because it was on DM. So again, I'm struggling.
You did
My
send that
phone's-
directly to me. Like
Yeah.
directly, it accosted my face.
And I said nothing along with it. I just sent
No,
the photo.
there was no
because I saw it and
context.
I was like, Jesse's got to see this. Oh, I didn't know what to think or to say because there's nothing to think or say. But
It's true.
question mark?
Yeah, so that was disturbing. But thank you. Appreciate you always.
Just disturbing.
Yeah. I like really am trying to think if I have any other special tidbits to tell you. But I really feel like I just rattled off everything to you. But I feel like maybe I had one or two more. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm in full summer mode. I feel like
That's good.
it took me a minute, but like now I feel like I'm feeling summer, and I feel like it's finally feels like the devil's front porch,
Boy, are we there.
which I love.
It happened in like 2 days. Quick.
I love.
And I
love
actually
it.
like it so much more. But I will say, it's hot. I'd rather it be this hot than it be raining.
hard agree.
Yeah.
And I know that most people would slap me silly for saying that.
No,
you
no,
and
no.
I, no,
No.
we would get slapped. There are some friends that I have that think that summer
The rain makes me
is
sad.
horrific.
What? No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I need
some
the
people feel that
sun.
way.
I need the heat. I don't want it to be so hot, but is that a rain? Heat.
I like to sweat. I don't want anyone else's sweat touching me
Or-
like they do at the club, but I don't mind sweating. I really don't mind it.
It's fine. I don't mind it either. I mean, I'm gross, but like
My
I've
husband
always
did tell
been
me
gross.
recently that lately in the past few years, I'm becoming extremely stinky when I
talked
sweat.
about this, yeah. I know I'm stinky. I know that. I'm over
So
it.
mean. I didn't need to know
I
that.
carry deodorant in my purse. What else do you want from me? A shower. What do you want?
Oh, and I've said this
Smell.
before, but I'm telling you now again, the Papatui
Yeah, do you like
deodorant, it's so much better than any other deodorant I've tried. It's
Okay.
so much better. It's
I'm still really
excellent.
liking. I really like too the AHA.
Salt and Stone,
No, it's Salt Air.
Salt Air.
There we go. I almost said that. So you were reading my mind, but it's Salt Air AHA serum deodorant.
Give that a go, and if that
Yeah.
not going for you, try
Or vice
Papatui
versa.
from
Whichever's cheaper. I have no idea.
my main man,
Your boyfriend.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Papatui, Papi.
Respectfully, I do respect his
Le
family
Rock.
and his wife.
Yeah. Oh yes, Lauren, we love you.
Respect, mad respect, always.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I just said mad respect. Don't ever talk to me about that again. Don't
Mad
say
respect.
a word to me about that.
Always.
I feel like
I truly have nothing else to say.
well, we're hitting our limit.
Okay, good.
We're hitting our goal.
Yeah. Give me a few weeks and maybe I'll come back with like some zingers here and there. But like, I think I'm just at this place where I'm going to be here for a second, brain wise.
No, this is good. I feel like this is perfect.
Like I
we made
rally.
we made a Venn diagram. I feel like we discussed everything that needed to be discussed.
Yeah. Jealousy's fine. Just don't be a biznatch.
I turn my chin,
Music up,
and I'm puffing my chest. I would go see them as well.
The Joe Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally.
Totally, dude.
I knew you were going to do that. I felt it.
And with that, please rate, review, subscribe. Please share this with a friend. Also, an asterisk to this entire episode. I swear to you, I will never say this again on a podcast.
Mad
I
respect.
promise. I promise. This is it. But at the top and the bottom of every episode, if you could please just let the ads roll, I would be so grateful. Haley and I have been working on this podcast for about 2 years now. And you're going to start.
September, it will be Trace.
And no, I thought it was going to be just 2.
No. Right?
No.
Since we went to
It's only 2.
LA. Because we've already said we've not gone to LA for 2 years.
I don't know how long we've been working on this podcast, but if you could just please let the ads roll that
Don't
you're
know.
starting to hear now, just know that it is a big accomplishment for she and I, and we would greatly appreciate
It
it
would
if
mean
you can,
the world.
if you can read between the lines.
And also, it might be her last time saying that. It might not be my last time saying that. So please let the ads play.
Oh, baby.
Unless you're a hater. And guess what? We have technology that will show us that you are the hater. Just kidding. We
Beep
don't.
boop, beep boop. Except for if
Or
you're from
except
Norway,
maybe
and I'm still waiting for everyone from
a
Norway
DM.
to
We
please.
love you, Norway.
Tell who are you? What's happening? I ask every episode. Anyway, rate, review, subscribe. Please leave us a comment. Please share this episode with a friend. Please help our community grow. We love doing this, and we love you. And with that, we will see you next Thursday.
Janine, take us home, sis. Ah.